Welcome back to another episode of Bad Decision Garage. Today, working back on the Bonniville, I got a week. I leave in 1 week for Poverty Tour. We got a list of things still to do. It's not that long of a list, you know, radiator, cooling fan, reseal the water pump, put an exhaust on, do a diff service, do some U-joints, you know, and an AC pump. You know, just some minor little afternoon activity events. Should be able to get it done, you know, next 45 minutes. I don't see why that wouldn't be out of the question. But there it is. We're draining coolant already out of this thing, which we may also end up flushing the block out when we have the water pump off. But first thing I'm going to do is get the radiator out so that we can get to the front of the engine, because we also have a front crank seal to put in because it's leaking oil only out of the front crank seal. The oil that is on the bell housing is obviously coming from the front of the motor blowing back. There's no potential that it could be a rear main seal. So we're going to replace the front seal. And after that deal, we'll see what it does. But so first things first. Oh, and I got a clutch for the cooling fan too, because I don't think this one's really doing its job anymore. So I'll set you guys up on the tripod. We'll get this radiator ripped out of here, and we'll get to everything else that we got to do. So the only thing to do is to get started. All right, first things first, let's get this top of the radiator cover off. Radiator holder, whatever you want to call it. Should have been a little bit more prepared. Okay, we'll grab the 3/8. That's on me. Quarter inch ain't enough.
How do you know how charged it is?
I don't know. It's a good question, Josh. Huh? Sounds like it's charged.
Oh.
I need an extension for that one. Some 3/8 in the front there for the fan shroud. And for some reason I feel like there's nuts on the back side of them. There is, I remember. What's wrong, buddy?
I forgot to clock out at work.
Oh. That is kind of a problem. Whoa, we're missing all the coolant, son of a bitch. There we go, and that's all the bolts for this top of the radiator cover here. Move tools to the side. There we go. Set that guy to the side. Noticed I lost a nut in the process of all that. Not a big deal. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is probably pull the cooling fan, because that's gotta come off, because we got to take the water pump off in order to reseal. There's a little gasket in there that I wasn't aware of, that I've become aware of, that I feel might be necessary. So we'll get to that too. And then we'll get this radiator out of here, which we gotta break loose the tranny lines over here, and then upper lower radiator hose.
Oh,
Oh, yes, that broke loose actually. Nice. Oh, that one's not wanting to break loose. Is there any, we got any sort of penetrating oil around here? All right, just taking off the fan here to get a little bit more room in life.
Yeah, we got a torch.
And we also got a new fan clutch to put on. Because I feel this one may be weak. I don't know. Might just be in my head. Can I unthread it by hand here? Yes. Look at that. We have a fan that can come out now. Yep. Perfect. Where did I put those other bolts? There they are. Okay, we'll set them off to the side so we lose them later. And then, let's see here. How does this shroud really doesn't come out of there too easy? What is it, bolted in on the bottom?
Must be.
It sure is. Cool. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Oh. What size are you, first of all? Maybe a 7/16.
What do you need? No.
I want a socket. What size are you? Come on now. Is it really a half? Look at this tool shelf though. Now, you don't get that on modern cars.
Definitely not.
Is it like a full through bolt thing? Yeah, okay. Yep, that screw's gone. Found it. Nice. Hey, I also found my nut that I dropped down here. This is all good stuff. Okay. Go to the other side quick.
The Grip Max.
Yeah. I think they'll be all right, man. They ride pretty nice.
See that?
Yeah.
They look like it.
There we go. Good, we need that for the new radiator. And since it doesn't actually bolt to the radiator, it means it'll work. All right.
And sludge. Just straight sludge off the engine. Ain't no fun either. Jesus Christ, man.
That's grody.
I don't think that radiator's very well.
Okay. What size is this lower radiator hose one? That's bigger than 5/16.
The AC pump's already freezing, man.
Okay, good.
I put my arm on it and it's fucking,
Gotcha.
dude, it's cold. It's weird.
It's cold, he's like. Can I get this down on here? I got the wrong size though, but I will be able to get in there. Nice. Got that clamp loosened. For the lower radiator hose, we'll move the bucket over and try to catch whatever remains. And we got a different size clamp there.
chocolate milk.
All right, so there's the coolant hose we're replacing, and like I said, we have to eliminate the block heater now because my new hose isn't like that, even though that's a Mopar hose. You guys see that? Mopar. There's the part number, I guess. I'm an idiot. I could probably just go get another one of these down at the local parts store. I'm guessing they probably have these on hand.
Yeah.
Except for I actually think this is a
Custom
install
deal.
your own deal.
I think so too, man.
The fact that doesn't leak, impressive.
I wonder if you could take it apart. It does look like it.
Yeah, it definitely comes. I mean, I don't know if it comes apart anymore, but it did at one point in its life. Okay, so I'm gonna try to save
I didn't even know that was a thing.
this transmission line by heating up the fitting, and hopefully it breaks it loose from the line. Okay, what we got going on here is this nut is rusted to the line. I'm gonna take a torch, heat this nut up, red hot-ish, whatever, I don't know. I've done this with brake lines and it's been successful, so I don't see why the transmission line would be any different. Hopefully we don't start shooting fire out the top transmission line. I don't know. It's the only thing that might be different is the fire point of brake fluid to transmission fluid, but we're gonna go for it. So I'm gonna grab the torch. I'm gonna heat that bad boy up. Let me see, can we get you guys involved in here somewhere? Where you guys can actually see what's happening? Possibly.
Oh yeah, we're boiling.
Things are happening. I don't know if it's for the best or what's happening there, but hopefully we can get this line off. And if we can get this broke loose and slid back, I'll take some sandpaper and clean up where it sits actually, and it shouldn't be a problem. Oh. You want to hold this quick? I think we might be successful here. I think we're good. We got her freed up. This is a big success. Really big success for the day. I'm really happy about this. Uh-huh.
He's got my fryer tore apart.
See what makes them tick. Well, the microwave came apart for the magnets. It's hard to beat some good, strong microwave magnets. I mean,
It's off.
there we go. Oh, let's just do one of these deals.
Bring it out to the garden hose. Give her the old garden hose rent special.
We're just gonna set her outside. Whatever. All right. Oh, blinding you guys. My bad. All right. Now that got the radiator out of the way, we'll drop front accessories here. Well, not off all the way, just loosen them up to get belts off. Take the water pump back off. I'm also gonna take the crank pulley off so that I can replace the front seal.
Whoa.
And then, what? It's drastically different, but it'll work.
Yeah.
That's a severe duty one.
Okay.
And then we'll get the AC pump replaced before we even drop the new radiator in. There's no reason to do any of this while being crammed. So since we got all this room, let's get to activities. We got Josh over here swapping out the clutch fan for me. Thank you, buddy. Pretty simple. 4 bolts hold the fan to the clutch.
Get
and then
the rally going.
obviously the clutch bolts to the water pump. So, you know, nothing too crazy. Does it fit the new one? This new one's a Haas.
It is a Haas. Ooh, like a glove.
Like it was meant to be. I think those lock washers that are in the box go there to replace those old ones. Do those even come off? If not, just run them on.
No,
Fuck it.
it does not come off.
Screw it. If we lose the fan off the clutch, it can only go around the rod.
I'm pretty sure a lock washer is going to do its job regardless of its age.
That's not true. I've broken a lot of lock washers in my day.
As long as it's not broken.
Yeah, I know.
what
But like
mean?
when I've loosened it up, like they split in half. So I can understand them sending new ones.
Oh, I feel like that one's not in there right.
Loosen up the other ones a little bit and get that one started. Or was it just?
Have to.
Yeah, that might be what it needs.
Oh, geez, I took it all the way out. Short little screws.
Yeah, but get them finger started first. Get this bolt out of here. Does that one still feel dog shit?
Kinda. No, we got her.
Okay.
We got her. There we go.
I mean,
Give her a good wing ding. Like, they ain't gonna fly off on you down the road, you know. Ooh, yeah.
yeah, looking at the stiffness difference here. Okay, yeah, that's doing something compared to now do that.
Yeah, there's a hell of a difference.
Okay, good. I was getting worried because that one still had some stiffness, but yeah, we're gonna be moving some air, boys. Gas mileage just went down in MPG. But all right, back to this job here. We got to get power steering power steering loosened up, get alternator loosened up, and AC pump loosened up. And then we'll get the water pump off, that all cleaned up, and then we'll start. I'll show you guys that gasket that I missed. I didn't miss it, I just didn't have one, and when I took it apart, the old gasket must have been deteriorated and washed through the system, so like, it was technically never there. I just have been informed that there is a gasket that goes there, so we're trying to do our best to keep this bitch cool. So let's get to it. Okay, like I said, next thing is get accessories loose so that they can move. Looks like a bunch of 9/16, and I know this is a 1/2 inch right here. I know that one for sure. But there's a 9/16 that holds that guy tight also. And then, yes, fun times. Okay, one right here. And on the back side, that guy swings right out of the way. Green belt, power steering. Let's try to keep track of this. I'm gonna need a wrench for that one, and I don't have my 9/16 wrench here, I guess. Right there it is, though. There we go. Slide alternator in, get alternator belt off. Slide alternator the other way to get alternator out of the way. And then for the AC pump, I'm pretty sure it's this bolt here, this bolt here. And do you want to get that back bolt right there? You can toss that box out of here since. Granted, we really don't need to take, oh yeah, we do. I need to get the crank pulley off. Oh. Which one didn't I loosen up enough? That's loose. That's loose. There we go. And that was a nice tight fit. There we go. AC belt. Put that over on the AC side. And we'll also have to take this clutch off this AC pump because I got a new AC pump. But that's not the task at hand today. Right, well, it is today, just not at hand right now. And I need a 1/2 inch socket. And then we also got to kick this guy up out of the way. Kick the power steering pump up out of the way so it's out of the way of the... I put the wrong size socket on. Boom, done. That is out of the way and gives us adequate room for the water pump.
You gotta pull it back off?
Yeah, because there's a gasket underneath it that I missed.
Oh.
I didn't get that swung out of the way enough. God dang it. There we go. I gotta swing that more out of the way. Put these water pump bolts somewhere here. Sure. Is that enough room now? Sure is. And we'll kick this already full coolant bucket under the water pump so it catches whatever comes out. All right. Oh, there we go. You glued this bad mamba jamba on, and I also forgot a bolt, so that might help out a lot too. There we go.
Boy.
There we go. See, that's okay.
You just RTV'd it or what?
No, I had a gasket and I have another gasket too. But the gasket that I forgot goes in on here and seals this plate to this port here. Which, I mean, you guys can't probably really see. I'll grab the GoPro and show you, but I don't know how much that affects anything. If it actually affects anything, because I mean, that bad boy is almost a press fit there. I think I might be wasting my fucking time right now, but if there's a gasket for it, why not use it? God, there's just so much sludge in this engine. I might also go grab the garden hose right now and
flush the block.
Flush her through the block a little bit and see what we get, because
concerning.
Boy, is there some, we put that on 2 weeks ago.
And there's some
legitimate
in there.
mud. Legitimate mud. So I'm gonna go look for a garden hose and see what we got going on. Next thing I'm going to do is pull this crank pulley off. We got to replace the front seal. It looks like there's 4 little bolts that hold the pulleys onto the harmonic balance, and then there's like 1 big bolt in the center, it seems. I'm pretty sure Pontiacs are keyed and not a press fit, so I should be able to just pull that off and it should just slide off. So that is what I will be working on next, is getting that guy off. I think the 4 bolts to take the pulleys off are 1/2 inch, so we'll zip them out quick. They're packed with a bunch of shit in there, which is good. Like a lot of grime in there to where a guy can't even get the socket on.
What did you all get done last weekend? The tranny flush?
Yep. Fuel pump, tires, center console, all the radios wired up and everything. Oh, Jesus, where's that screwdriver at here? Jesus.
Weight reduction.
Yeah, something like that.
You just gained back your horsepower.
Yeah, just threw the flywheel out of
Balance.
balance. I'm gonna have a vibration now. Okay, should be the 4 bolts, and it should. God, let me get a light down in here once and see. I think that should knock just the pulleys off. Should be able to come off without taking out that big center guy. But we'll have to get that big center one out anyways. Do we got a little tappa tool somewhere around here? Looking for like a hammer. There we go. Let's see if we can just... Is there more than 4 bolts? There is more than 4 bolts. Let's try taking out the rest of the bolts first. Wow. Look at that. If you take out all the bolts, it comes right off.
Falls off of there, you know.
That is impressive. Oh, I need that spacer plate.
It goes behind that.
Yep. Keep that package together.
Your dad's got some degreaser over here. You want to fucking clean this thing up a little?
No, we'll just use the scraper and the wire wheel. Or this thing here?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it really matters. I just want to keep it together so that way.
Okay.
I don't know if it's clocked or anything, but I see holes through all my holes, so I'm gonna say that's how it goes. Okay. Yeah.
Shit underneath there.
Got a big old pulley or bolt to get off here, and then that should slide right off. I don't think it needs to be pressed off or anything, if I remember correctly. Let's see if I got a socket that big here. Probably bigger than 1 inch. I'm gonna have to dig out the other. Oh, it's smaller than 1 inch. We'll have this. I'm thinking 15/16, but go 15/16. Let me grab the high torque.
Hey, that's not an impact socket.
All right, center bolts out, and then, yeah, like I said, slides right off. Nice.
Just got a key in it.
Yep, it's keyed, and this is the seal we need to replace.
You pull that bitch out and put a new one in.
Yep, let me grab this scraper here quick and
Get rid of the
let's get rid of the
massive amount of shit that's over here.
yes, so that a guy can actually see what he's trying to go for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peeling the protective layer off.
Yeah, the seal went off. Okay. Jesus.
It's been leaking for a while.
It might have had a small seep. Okay.
Should have bought some brake cleaner.
Yeah. I think there's some brake cleaner in the cabinet.
Not enough to fucking shake and twist that. That's all we got in that one.
Makes sense. There we go.
That's one on that one.
No, we're good. We just need to clean up where the seal needs to sit. And I need to make sure that the seals I have are the right ones. Okay, so that is the factory seal in that bad bitch. Let's see here. Okay, we got it off. This is the seal we have to get out. Probably gonna have to drill a screw into it and pull it out that way. I was hoping that it had the flange, but factory GMs did not have flanges, so I gotta get that popped out, and then I'm gonna check to make sure that my new seal is actually the right size before I even attempt to pop that one out. So I'm gonna go grab that, and then I'll get back with you guys. So here's the new seal I got. I'm just gonna, it looks like it'll fit into the front cover just perfectly fine. And then let's test this if fit on the, oh yeah. That'll work just fine. It presses it up perfect. Yep. Okay, so thing to do. We gotta get this inner seal out. I think I might try to take a screw and screw in next to it, or bend it in and fold it out on top of itself. I don't know, it's gonna be gruesome. I'm gonna get to it though. Alright guys, believe it or not, I screwed a screw in there and used a pry bar, and it came out perfectly. Like, ooh, look at that, yeah. That is good signs that this seal is woofed actually. Oh, there's actually a full nick in it. Nice. This is giving me good hopes that this is my oil leak. Obviously, the rear main seal will not be the same condition as the front seal. You know, the front of the motor gets used more or something. I don't know. But that's what I'm going to keep telling myself today. And I'm going to take just a little bit of silicone RTV and put it around this bad boy, and then I'm going to pound it into the front cover, and we'll just go the reverse order of take apart. Let's go. This went super smooth. Okay, like I said, just going to put a very thin amount of RTV on the outside of here, just to help with any imperfections, because, you know, 70 years. No, this is a national gas seal.
It's not Chinesium?
It probably still is from China, but it's still national, so it's at least a name brand. You know.
Because China.
Yes. Get that. Spread it around. I just take my finger and spread it all the way around. Perfectly good, nice and even. Get it started in there, and then
find something to tap it in.
Since I don't have, you know, the correct seal driver here, we'll go with the universal one. I might have to find, where's my extension at? That'll work exactly what I'm trying to do here. Let's actually use the flat side. Let me move this thing out of the way. Man, my tool storage up here is getting thin. And
top side a little more.
over here.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing is the
RGB.
RGB.
Shadow.
Is the
It was
RGB.
a shadow.
Yeah.
It was a shadow.
Because now that I switched the light to this side, it looks like that side's out.
Yep.
Oh no. Alright, awesome. Let me see if I got a little bit of oil to put on my seal surface before I slide it in home. Or some wheel bearing grease or something. There's a little bit of wheel bearing grease. What would you know? Alright, just going to take a little bit of wheel bearing grease and put it on what needs to slide through the seal so that it doesn't tear up the seal on its way in. And since, like I said, it's got a key which is pointed somewhere around here. Go on. There we go. Right there's the key. That seems like that's buried all the way in there. The nut will do the rest. But just like that, we replaced our front crank seal, and that should remedy all of the oil leaks on this car. The only oil leak it had. But in all fairness, in all honesty, like when this thing was running, I could literally watch oil drip out of this while it was running. So it was not good by any means. Like it probably does need a rear main gasket too, but that's an engine out gig on this rig, and I do know that it is a rope seal.
Ain't nobody got time.
And I haven't seen too many rope seals actually just pour out oodles amount of oil to like where it's undrivable, so we should be good. Trying to clean all that up there, buddy.
Yeah, might as well get some of it.
All right, so I'm gonna look up torque specs, get that torque down, and then we'll continue putting it back together. Oh yeah. It's far from good, but it's hard. Let's see if this is even gonna work or if the motor's just gonna roll over. Yeah, motor's just gonna roll over. I gotta find a way to wedge that. I think I might have an idea.
What's up? Oh, you're just spinning the motor now?
Yeah. See if I can figure out a way to wedge that.
You're gonna have to get something in there long enough to get below, go down below that fin there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a longer extension?
I probably do. Grab the 1/4-inch one. Yeah. Let's see here.
So you can get it down below that ear or something.
Somewhere. Lock it in somewhere where it still allows me to be on the
bolt.
a little skeptical, but very skeptical.
See if the DeWalt tool's up to quality today.
I'm more worried about my timing cover. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Right. Back that off, get this extension out of here.
Quality. Stanley DeWalt.
That was a little nerve-wracking. That was a little nerve-wracking. Alright, cool. We can toss that front pulley back on then and just start reassembling. That was the first step to reassembly right there. Wow, it feels good.
There you go. Much bigger.
There we go. That's something like that. Gets us our crank pulleys back on. Yes, good. Cool. And now, to be honest, I don't know if this one actually requires the gasket. Because I don't see where... So apparently there's supposed to be a gasket on some Pontiacs, I guess, that go right here to seal that up. But god dang, with how tight mine sits in there, I couldn't put a gasket in there without this getting into the water pump. So I guess I don't want to say we took the water pump off for no reason, considering we flushed out the engine and everything, which is a definite it needed it. So, but hey, it was better to make sure and know for certain than to just assume that it was going to be okay. But either way, we needed to get in here to do the crank pulley anyways, and we're doing a radiator, so you know, we had a lot to do anyway, so why not add one extra step? But again, like I said, due to the shit that came out of the motor, I'm glad that we did this. So next step will be for me to get everything back on. We'll put the water pump on first and start going from there. All right, guys. Alright guys, gonna just, you know, prevent leaks, thin layer, glue that gasket to this bad boy. I like to go around the bolt holes just to put an extra layer, and then I also put I do like one of these things, I make sure it's sealed. The Dana Easy Squeeze is where it's at. A little bit there. I stretch across there. And then...
you got the 2 bolt holes too.
Yeah, and then we're also gonna go like so. So. And we'll set gasket in place. Set gasket in place so that it's adhered and glued into place. See, I like how that's looking. And then wait, there's more. Oh. We're gonna do another fine layer on top of the gasket, so that way it takes up any imperfections of the block. And just like that, now we go toss it on.
Nice.
Nice thing about the Pontiac is we got some studs to actually hang it on. Oh, I forgot, we gotta tuck it in. Boom. And I left the hardware over there for that. You can just bring all that hardware over here. We'll need it all eventually. Just sitting here, you know, letting it cure a little bit. Thank you, Josh, for grabbing me the bolts that I left. Left over there. I don't think those are the bolts.
I don't know what's going on.
I know. I got the water pump bolts over here. I already had them. This is my fault. That's where the longer one goes. Makes sense. Alright, let me grab the right size socket and come on. There we go. I should still be.
You need another bolt.
Yeah, I know. There's a.
There they are.
Yep, I see them now. And just like, I mean, we're gonna go over these with the hand tightness quick before we just call.
Click.
All right, let me grab a hand wrench now and we'll torque this down. Torque it good. It is loose. Sure.
Click.
Yep. That's what I like about that little impact, is that it doesn't really actually torque anything. But it snugs it up in a god dang hurry.
Ouch.
Which is nice. There we go. We're all torqued down. Obviously, you guys heard the torque wrench. I know I did.
Click.
Every single time. And we'll just let that set up now here. Next thing will be to do is we might move to that guy right there. The AC pump quick. And see what that's all about.
That would be a good idea.
Well, we got the room, so let's get her done. Alright guys, I pulled the block heater out of the system. Not needed, because we needed to get rid of this aluminum T that was leaking. We'll take a chunk of that hose to fill in from back of the intake to the heater valve. Not a big deal, but since we're in the mood of flushing shit, we're gonna flush the heater core out that I just replaced, and hopefully, you know, that clears out too. So I'm gonna go turn the water on and we'll get to it.
Oh yeah. Look at that nasty shit. It is already, but
Did it shoot out some shit?
yeah, it did.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm happy about that. Perfect. We are...
I'll shut it down for a second. And then I'm going to turn it back on just to make sure it doesn't kick something up.
We are as flushed as one can be. This is good.
Alright, and you're good.
Golly, I really hope my coolant temps actually drop dramatically by about 30 degrees is what I'm hoping for. Between the aluminum radiator,
And all the shit we flushed
between
out.
the aluminum radiator, the flushing, the heavy duty clutch fan. I put a 160 stat in last weekend, you guys know, and then I put my temp gauge in there, so like I don't even know what my temperatures were before the 160 stat, but with the 160 stat, we were rolling down the highway at 195, which is alarming to wonder what it was doing with the 185 stat. I mean, it was probably still full flowing since it was getting hot, but dang. But all right, cool. We're gonna finish. We can now finish putting this all back together. Cut a chunk of, might not even need to cut that chunk down. That might just be the right length. And we'll go from, like I said, that spot right here on the intake back there to here. And then I can finish putting and then we'll get to the AC compressor. I guess this was just a side quest that we went on real quick. Nice. All right, perfect. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is AC pump, which isn't gonna be hard to do. Pretty straightforward. Take the lines off, take the pump off the bracket, put the new pump on the bracket, put it back in. Not anything crazy. To make it easier though, let me see here. Yeah, I think to make it easier, I'm just gonna pull the whole bracket assembly off in one unit. That way I can work with it outside of here. So I'm gonna get to that. All right, don't lose our spacer. Got a big old spacer here. Another big old spacer on this one. And I probably have to take this bolt off right away because it's got a ground on it, right? It grounds, so we can just get this one out of the way right away. I don't know what I'm doing stuff by hand for when I have power tools. Something just like that, get the ground out of here. Oh, it was a slide-on terminal. Okay. We'll just put that bolt back in so that we know which bolt's what to where. And then we got another 9/16 bolt here in the front. Again, what am I doing? Front bolt. Need to take that bolt off and apparently that bolt, to loosen that up. We just loosen this up even more. I don't know what to do here. Okay. Okay. That works. Getting confused with hardware. Not really, but there we go. That guy's out of the way. Grab my correct size socket here. Oh, that bolt's out already. He's just a shorty. That's cool. And then that guy's got a spacer on him. Keep him together. Done. And we should be able to pull the pump off. Oh, yes, just like that, we got the pump off here. Whew. Oh, okay. Okay, got the pump here. Let's get the bracket off this one and put it on the new pump. And then we will figure out how the clutch comes off. But we'll probably get the other one at least mounted on the motor quick. Okay, which orientation does... Oh, I guess there's really... Okay. Cool. There we go. There we go, and then looks like more half-inch stuff. I'm gonna need a longer extension. And that one's gonna require me to use a wrench. Them bastards. Oh, there we go. Breaking loose. Breaking loose. Very nice. Oh, duh. These are the other two bolts that we took out there, so we'll finish taking this off. We'll get it put onto the new motor, or the new compressor, and then we'll hang the compressor back in the car quick, and then we'll figure out how to get the clutch off. Let me see here. I'll figure out a way to hold the new pump because it can't sit on the clutch like I have this one sitting because it doesn't have a clutch. Ugh. Okay. So if I... Yes. Okay. This one goes here. I'm really happy that I can use the impact on the others. It's gonna make this a lot easier once we get there. Oh, roll the pump around a little bit. Okay. Okay. It's getting kind of heavy. Not gonna lie. Okay. Get me my, wishing I had a ratcheting wrench today. 1/2 inch. But we're after it now. Oh, where's that guy at? Right there. This guy can go in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yep, and just like that, that's all tight. So let's move back over to the car, get this pump hung back in there. Alrighty, let's get this kind of back in place. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to slide back in where it came from. There, maybe. Let me see here. Whew. Okay. Long bolt and spacer. Long bolt and spacer. That one is nice and easy to get. Another long bolt and spacer. Long bolt and spacer. Yes. Okay. Let's okay, loosen that back up. That got too tight. And there we go. There we go. Those two are at least ready to rock and roll. And so is that one actually, which is super cool. There's back bolts. Showing to be a little different. There we go, get this one started. Oh. There we go. Only one more to get started. they're all at least started on there. Let's go back over to the old pump and figure out how to get our clutch assembly off. Okay, the next thing is I got to figure out how to get this clutch off. Looks like I'm going to need a extremely thin socket. Jesus. Maybe it's not that thin, it just has a bunch of shit caked in it that I'm going to have to dig out first. So that's what I'm going to do is grab a small pick, dig that out, see if I got a socket that actually fits in there. And then let's see where that leads us. I'm just trying to clear out all the grime that came with the inside hole to see if I have a socket that fits in there, because it sure is a tight one. Okay, let's see here. A 9/16, perfect. Let's see if the 1/4 inch can get this off. Look at that, nut came right off. That's good. Good start. Is there a snap ring or something in there? I don't know. Where did I set that pick? There we are. There is a snap ring in here. Okay. Let me go find another pick once and see if I can pick it out. There we go. Perfect. So it goes nut, snap washer, there's a washer in there. Let me see if it just needs a little bit of persuasion. So there's an inner snap ring in there. I'm wondering if I have to, let me see something once. Just a minute, I'm gonna look this up quick. All right, let's see if I got the right tools to do this now. I had to drive 3 towns over to get the removal tool, and I'm not sure it's even right, but let's see what we got here. I need to find a wrench to turn that with. Too big. All right. Find a socket for that guy. All right, there's that part. And I already took the snap ring off because I thought that's how it came apart, and I was wrong. So, how does this slide off now is the real question. Is there another threaded portion or something? Let me... Whoa. I know what we just lost right there. Okay, where'd that go? There it is. Okay. There we go. We'll probably clean this surface up a little bit just so she bites good. That's our washer there. All right, let me see if I can figure out how this next piece comes off then, because I'm guessing that's also a press fit. Does this remover does not seem like it will be the one we need. Let's see if we can just tap that off, or if we're gonna have to okay, we're gonna have to figure out a puller system there, which isn't a big deal, I don't think. Considering I think there's a puller, what do we, right here. And it says do not push against the shaft, but I'm guessing that's if you want to reuse your pump. We don't care. So we're gonna just see what happens. Do 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 do. Okay. There she goes. Now we're making some headway. Okay.
It's not the puller you wanted.
I used that portion already. And then there's another snap ring down in there that we need to get out quick. Oh, this one's kind of a bear. There we go. There we go. Got the clutch off. Now let's see if we can figure out how to reinstall it on the car. All right, I already got the coil put on, and I've been kind of already press fitting the pulley portion of it, and that's just me taking this socket and a hammer and pounding it on.
You're close now. A little bit further. Couple more whacks. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going, yeah. Keep right in there somewhere.
Okay, we'll see what that does. Right?
Is there a snap ring on the front side?
Well, no.
Okay. But that's back to the line where it was.
And we'll maybe see if we can tap it.
There you go, we went a little further.
I think that's about what it looked like. I'm kind of happy with it, I guess. I don't know. Let me finish reading some directions and see
It seems good.
what I'm doing here.
See, it fucking spins nice.
Yeah. Okay, yep. We're doing this mostly right. Except for I might have to find a punch to just hit the inner race of the
Or a bigger socket.
bearing. I don't know if I have a bigger socket here, Josh.
That line's out of the way.
Let me just...
Tuck underneath the world's largest dryer.
We're getting there.
It's gonna take some time with that.
Yeah. Ooh. But I don't have anything else here right now. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, we are. Let's see if the snap ring plops on there or not.
Not quite.
Not 100% like I would like to see. Let's get after it just a little bit more.
Ouch. I'm done again.
Just leave it. It's okay.
Okay.
Still not quite where a guy thinks it should be. I gotta find something else here.
That's gonna seep down around it.
Well, that's not even a choice because I don't have anything that's going to. I just need to find more of like a punch. Okay, let me see if that does it. Would you? Oh.
The Dremel, I stopped getting it disintegrated.
So now I'm picking up all the pieces.
Let's get this groove cleaned out and good. Just make sure that we have the best chance of this thing actually sitting in there. There we go. I think that's seated actually this time. Except for it now makes some noise. All right. Let's see if we can get this deal installed now. Let's see if we can get this all There's another fun portion of this is that there's actually a key. Which, let me see here, can I even get this threaded on here? Threads are all janky on this thing too. I think I'm gonna try to clean these threads on the old pump, so if we fuck it up, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Is it now? I'm guessing it's the threads of my pump that are janky, because it was ripping on and off that one like butter. So,
Get it to start and tally ho.
there she goes.
Seems legitimate. A little bit of shavings in there though.
A little bit of shavings from one of the other. Let me see here, where'd that torn bearing go? There it is. Something like that, probably. Or probably something like so. You get this all spread it out. But this wood drift key thing is gonna be, oh hey,
It goes right here.
yeah, watch this. I think I can knock it out of here,
And then put it in later.
put it in the shaft,
And then do
and
it.
then line it up a little bit.
Work a little nicer.
Let's see here. Whoop, dropped it.
Not looking far. Right into the magnet.
Where? Oh, there it is. The magnet's not magnetic yet. Do something like that, and then a guy can actually
See what the fuck's going on.
start it. I don't know if that's. Oh, yeah. That'll be started. Okay, so then I'll take our install tool here, rip it in. Okay, guess I'll just have to find a big wrench for that. Bigger wrench than that.
That's it.
7/8. We got a 1-incher over here. That's what she is.
Just pull it
I
on.
don't know. Just walk it on.
Walking in slowly.
Oh, are we going crooked? No, I don't think so. There we go. Just keep walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. Oh, it's going on nicely now.
You just had to get set in that key.
Yeah. We either got set in that key very well or else we just destroyed that key well. But I think there's something about an air gap here, so let me finish reading some installation instructions. Okay, often blue. Hold the center bolt well incorrectly. Toot. You are looking to establish a clutch to pulley clearance of 10 to 15 thousandths if you evidently created too close a gap. Put the clutch puller back on and pull the clutch out accordingly.
You got a few
Replacement or rebuilt parts are rarely perfect. You'll probably get different readings at various locations around the circumference of the clutch. If the closest gap is 0.10 or more and the largest gap is 0.15 or less, you are okay. Okay, so we need to find some feeler gauges, I guess, but I can eyeball a good 10 thousandths of an inch. Let's be real here.
Very much.
What is that? I need that 5/8 here. Except for that's bigger than 5/8. That's good. It's 3/4, and that set doesn't have it. There might be a 3/4 in that bag. I got a 3/4 right here. All right, now is probably when a guy wants a feeler gauge, so we'll go find one of them because that'll be
That's real close.
an important thing. Get this bolt back in over here, just so a guy don't forget. There we go. Okay, yeah, so I'll be back. Gotta go get feeler gauges. So I can't find no feeler gauges, but if I take this nice piece of cardboard here and put my micrometer on it, got some shit going on there. There we go. Zero this bad girl out. And we clamp down on this cardboard. We're at like 15. So actually just a little less than 15. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but. So I'm gonna adjust my gap to just where this cardboard does not fit in there, and we should be good.
You do gotta save that cardboard because it's got a bunch of dimensions on it.
Yeah, and as you can tell, I can just fit it in all the way around, so let's give it just a little bit more. All right, let's see what that does now.
Super tight.
Super tight, doesn't even fit in there.
That's good.
I'm gonna see what that does. Hopefully the clutch works. So we'll back that off and get this puller out of here, and then we put the front locking nut and everything on, and AC compressor should be installed. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, we got, what, it went, I believe it went spacer, then snap ring, then got one more snap ring here. Our first snap ring we took off. It doesn't even, well, let me think about this quick. Where did that go? Because that doesn't fit on there at all.
Where does that go?
It came out of,
I have no idea where that goes, buddy. Don't make sense.
it does make sense now. I see where it goes. Just goes in here and it pushes that washer all the way back. And there's threads in there that it catches as the lock. Actually, there is a little okay. There we go. Got the nut started, or the got the old snap ring in there. Just got to put this front nut on. Come on. Am I putting it on backwards? Might be a thing. I don't know. It's like stuck right there. Jesus. Let me. All right, nuts on. As you can see, it's self-seated. All right, the only thing one thing that I do know I gotta do is hook up this ground wire here quick. That goes right on the back side here. Boom. Something just like that, that's set. Nice. Okay. I guess the next thing a guy could do is put his fan on here. We can put this belt on actually first without any of that because it doesn't run around the water pump. Oh, it's gotta get, yep, there you go. There we go, now pull it back. Something like that. Very nice. Can you grab by here and pull back?
Guten tight.
Guten tight. There's one bolt back there. I don't know if you can actually get to it or not.
On the way bottom?
Yeah, that hose might be in the way. It kind of was earlier. It's okay if you can't. Okay, there we go. AC belts on. Okay, let's throw our new fan clutch in. Well, it's not a new fan, but the clutch is new. So that's something. Let's get that tossed on there once and see if we can cuss about this any more than necessary. Can I actually get it started? I got it started. That's good. That is good.
You can hold it, you can grab another one.
There we go. Alright, let this bad boy roll. That was pretty stress-free. I'm happy with that. That was really stress-free. Look at that nice new fan clutch on there. She got some, oh yeah, she's stiff. There we go. That is what we're talking about there. Grab us the 1/2-inch wrench and apply some torques to them. There's one. There's two. There's three. And there's four. New fan is in. Let's go open our new radiator. Behold, aluminum greatness. I measured it up the other day. It is the exact same size, I'm pretty sure, as the original. I should maybe just go, we're not even gonna go compare it, we're just gonna toss it in. I mean, what's there to lose here? It's gotta be right. Oh, she might be a little wide. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, I think we're okay. We just gotta get her.
Huh? Like that old room.
Oh shit.
Oh, back in the corner? Oh. It is. We were using it to sweep the water out of here.
Okay, can't go any more that way. We got some bracketry we can cut out on this side. We are not fitting as we should. I guess we have a little bit oversized radiator issue here. Let's see what we can remove to make this fit, actually. I don't think it'll be the end of the world, but as you can see, that tank there is running right into that bit of whatever nonsense that is. Can't really go any more this way, as there is a frame rail there. I can't cut that out of the way. So really the only thing a guy can do, Jesus, shit, this sucks big. Okay guys, I'll get back with you here in a minute. I gotta figure this out. Okay, we're in it now. Damn it. We gotta cut pretty much all the way to these screws, get this bent back so that this radiator will fit in here. And hopefully that's about all we need to do. The top plate should work. We might have to fold the top of the top plate a little bit, but yeah, so I'm gonna get the old cutoff wheel out and start doing some things. Probably start by cutting up here, and I'm gonna just try to cut down here and see if we can just fold it out far enough. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. We'll have to see what we can do. This became a problem now. Crisis diverted. With a little bit of cutting and persuasion,
Some massaging.
we should be okay. I mean, I might massage that corner just a little bit more, but we're mostly in there, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get I'm pretty sure we have room over here to get the lower radiator hose on. Oh, yeah. Plenty of room. And then we'll have to wrestle some tranny line fittings, which I don't even know if those are the right size.
Hopefully they are.
We might have to go get some adapters, which will be super cool and convenient, but better than not having tranny lines. So, alrighty, cool. I'm gonna finish getting this mounted in properly. Drop the shroud in first, because that has to get bolted in on the bottom first. And then we'll get this top piece mounted. Alright guys, gonna be a little bit of a setback. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow to go and try and find another adapter for our tranny lines to our radiator cooler. As you guys already know, I had to cut some away from here for the radiator to even fit. It was a little bit bigger than the original. Got it in there now pretty well. It all seems to fit pretty good. We'll have to make gonna have to cut a couple chunks of hoses to build this up, just so that the rubber feet actually catch the radiator properly. But other than that, everything seems like it should be going as it should, which is a good thing. Like I said, we'll just have to wait till tomorrow to go get another fitting. Hopefully we can find one. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish getting this radiator mounted in here, get the upper hose on, like I said, we'll just probably cut strips out of our old radiator hose here to replace with our new one. We'll be replacing the lower radiator hose with a new one. So, Jesus. Yeah, it's about the same size. Should work. So we'll probably just take chunks of this rubber and cut strips and lay it up underneath these feet so that it actually pinches the radiator down right. So that's what I'm going to get to, and then we'll get to looking at the exhaust. So all I've done here is cut some heater hose up and laid it on top of the radiator. Hopefully it'll get us the bite we're looking for. I think it should. Let's see what we got here quick. Alright, let's run a couple bolts in quick and see what happens. Make sure that this is sitting how we want it. That seems like that's snatched down nice and tight. I think that's what we're looking for right there. It's not going anywhere. It's nice and solid. Cool. Let's see if we can get a radiator hose on now. A lower radiator hose. That's going to be kind of fun. I have a feeling it's going to be rubbing. So we might have to put a little protective barrier on it so that it's got a extra rub through layer. But let's see what we can get. Alright guys, I got the radiator actually mounted in here for good now. It's a tight fit. Had to put a little buffer hose here because that hose is going to rub against the frame there. And then we had to cut out a whole bunch over here, as you can see. And then I put a little piece of hose down there also to keep it from rubbing. But fan is in. Fan shroud is in. I mean, I gotta tighten up these upper ones here quick, but that's no big deal. But for majority of it, like I said, I still have to go get another fitting for my trans coolers, but that's no big deal. Hopefully I can find another one of these in town, a 5/8 to 1/2 inch. Kind of an odd duck. I was lucky enough to find one already. And then I see we got this bolt to tighten up here. I'm gonna get my other two belts on quick. I should have done that before I did the fan almost, but hey, we're here now, so on they go. And then we'll crawl underneath the car and see what we can do for exhaust. Good morning. We're back at it. Got some ruckus going on in the background. First thing this morning, before I even turned on the camera, I ended up going and finding me another fitting for the transmission line. That was a task. I drove all over last night trying to find one, couldn't find one. Right now, the noise you guys are hearing is the vacuum pump on the AC system, getting that drawn down into vacuum. Next thing I'll probably end up doing is adding coolant just to see if it holds coolant. You know, we did do some things. And then we will probably jump to the exhaust, which I kind of got mapped out a little bit last night. I mean, there's one part of it. It's going to be a nice cobbled together exhaust system, you know, like nothing but the best, nothing but the best. We have a new muffler, completely used piping. What can go wrong? I'm sure it'll weld together just fine, or at least clamp. So, like I said, first thing I'm going to do is start pouring coolant in, just getting it topped up and back to roadworthy at that point, I guess, because everything else is just kind of minor. So I'll set you guys up on the tripod and we will get to putting coolant in. All right, let's get some mean green American coolant in this thing. I'm back with the old H2Os. Alright, and then we'll fire this thing up here soon. Once we get the... Oh, I guess I could just unplug the AC pump. And it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, let's fire it up, watch it suck down some water, some coolant, and then hopefully continue topping it off. The keys are in the trunk. I will be honest, that is the nicest this car has ever started.
It's looking pretty diluted already.
I know. That's what I was kind of worried about.
I want to go get some more
That's what it's going to kind of sound like with the muffler on. It's on there loosely. That's good. Why are we idling so high? Somehow my choke tripped. Yeah, that's way quieter, dude. Dude, that's way quieter. And it's just slid on there right now. Burning some stuff off back there. Are we sucking her down anymore?
No, not really. The thermostat hasn't opened either.
Yeah. Real good airflow here now. Like such good airflow you can almost feel it through the grill. Alright, we're just gonna let it idle for a little bit. Hopefully the thermostat pops open soon. We could induce a little help it warm up a little bit.
You hear that rattle?
That's just valve train noise. It might even be the exhaust rattling on the pipe too.
It sounds like it's coming from the valve train.
Yeah. There it goes.
We're flowing now.
Yeah. Is it turning green actually?
Yeah, it's turning green.
Looks pretty green now. Oh yeah.
I've seen one contaminant,
Yeah.
but nothing to be concerned about.
Oh no, I mean like it's still gonna be contaminated, like
That really sucks her down.
does it? Is it all bubbly or anything or no?
Oh, it's just flowing. It just sucks it down and you can see it flow.
Okay. Top her off with a little bit of water?
Yeah, it looks like a good color though.
Yeah. We'll just top it off here a little bit more. Just like that. We'll put the cap on actually. And just let it sit here and idle for a minute. See if she... Go watch the temp gauge, see if that does anything funny or if we're actually just gonna live at our 160 now. All right, now that we got the Pontiac 400 staying cool, it's time to keep me cool. Let's charge up this AC once and see if it actually is gonna do what we hope it does, which is work and blow cold. So we'll get the gauge set out of here. We'll hook up our feeder, and we'll start tapping in some cans. And doing the rough math, we need about 4.3 cans. So we'll dump 4 in for sure. And then we'll go from there. We'll spritz in a little extra. Well, since we have this in vacuum, it's gonna suck. Should suck it right in. Oh, there we go. Had the tap too far on the can. What's up, bud?
I'm gonna get these O-rings out.
I got a pick on my toolbox.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit of a process, but...
Make sure they're the right size of the new one.
Alright, I see we got one more bolt that we got to tighten up here that I have forgotten. And it sounds like we're getting to the end of this can. All right, on to the second can. Got a little leak going on there. I don't think it's really going to cause much of a problem since it'll just help us with our last can. Just takes a minute this way, but and then once we get after our third can, I'll fire it up and just let the compressor actually cycle it in. I just don't want to run it dry. That's can number 2 down. Yeah, can number 3 going on. There we go, can number 3. All right, I'm gonna go start the car, let the pump kick on. Yep, now that it's running, it's sucking it down real good. All right, let's get can number 4 in there and we'll see what we got going on. Let's take a feel inside once. Want to come give me your expert opinion on this? Gotta add a little bit more.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, I gotta add a little bit more, and then it'll probably get better with a little bit of RPM. Let's top it off a little bit with can number 5. Let's take the tap off. Okay, we just need to add a little bit. I think I might go get one of those injectable shots of oil just to make sure we have enough oil in the system. But I mean, it's pretty normal that you can hear an AC compressor kind of doing its thing. I just would like to make sure. All right, there it is. Got some AC blowing on the inside. Pretty nice and chilled. I like it. Like I said, I might get a shot of oil to shove in that thing just to make sure. I don't know. Like I said, you can always kind of hear AC pumps working. I don't hear a chatter or nothing. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Either way, we have AC that works. Our coolant temps are staying low. I haven't even seen them climb to 190 yet, which is, I'm happy with, perfect. So the next thing we're gonna do then is get this exhaust put on right. Like, I don't know if you guys notice how quiet this thing actually kind of is. Like, I just have the muffler slid on there right now and it already dramatically made that much of a difference. Let's get to it. First part of the exhaust. You'd never be able to tell that I went to welding school.
Ray Charles did that.
It's, you know, it's attached. Believe me, I can do better welding.
You don't have to worry about
but we're not worried about this today. Yeef. Golly, man. I need to check myself. Okay, updates. Got Ray Charles to weld up this a little bit more for me. God, he's a nice guy. So now this can get hung up on the car and we can finish up the last bit of it. I already got a hanger to hold it back here. And then we just got to pretty much hang the up over the axle pipe out the back of it. And once I get this all hung up under there, guys, I'll bring you guys under there and show you how good of a masterpiece this turned out to be. It's just hard since I have it on jack stands to get a camera under there at a good angle to actually show you guys what's going on while I'm working. So I'm gonna keep getting to it. Hopefully we'll get this exhaust hung up and plumbed out, and then we can move on to our diff service and U-joints. Oh, and we also still have to drop a gas tank at some point. Yay. Well, here it is, guys. I can hear a bunch of I can actually hear the engine running. I've never been able to do that before. Like, it's actually pretty quiet up here.
It actually sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you rev it up for me when I get back there. But let me just show you guys what I did for this exhaust here. It stopped right about there. We patched in this pipe, tucked it all back. Got a muffler here. Oh, and then we got the up over the axle even, and give it some gas. That sounds great. That is exactly what I was actually hoping for, was something like that. A little bit of rumble, but quiets it down. Oh man, this is great success. Great success. That coolant fan's also ripping. Hell yes. All right, next thing we gotta do is drain the diff fluid and get that fluid changed. So, yeah, so they're good things, but, so a little side quest I'm taking here is that I'm gonna take the center caps out of these hubcaps here, and we're gonna glue them into the rim, because you can't be rolling on rims that don't represent. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this, the 3rd grade? Like, so in order, because you know they don't really just fit in there nicely, a guy has come up with a plan. Does the guy know if the plan's gonna work properly? No, but what can we do? We got some 3M black super weather strip adhesive, because I kind of want to be able to knock them back out if I have to do tire service or anything. Like, it's not, I don't want it to be permanent in there, otherwise I'd just grab the JB weld, you know? So I already kind of scuffed this up here a little bit. I mean, it's still rough. I might try to find a wire wheel. I might have a wire wheel. Let me see if I have a wire wheel that'll fit in there. Get that all cleaned up a little bit so that this actually adheres and it doesn't just fall off with a flake of rust. Let me see if I got a wire wheel. Let's see here. I mean, it kind of works. You gotta have it at the right angle, but it's doing it. This will be the method for the rest of them, I can tell you that. Oh, look at that. Got a lot of that gone. And then we'll just take some of this black goo. Go down here and put a copious amount on it. We're trying to have it stay, not fall off. All right, now that that's copiously amounted applied, we'll just drop this guy down in there. Bloop. Center him up. Find something of weight to put on that. I don't know. Shit. That's not enough weight. I'm sure there's weighted objects in here somewhere. Nope, that's not gonna fit in there.
I know, but something that...
Let me see, what do we got here? This piece of pipe got a little bit of heft to it. We'll use that. There we go. That's one. All right, I'm gonna see if I can convince Josh over here to do the rest of them while I do the diff service. I'll let you guys know how that goes. All right, so we're looking at a good old BOP 10 bolt here. I should find the fill plug and make sure I can get that out before we drain it. I've made this mistake before in my life, so let me figure out where the fill plug is and we'll see. There it is. Yep, fill plug's coming out great. That's perfect. I'm happy with that. Let's grab this tub here. Let me go grab the socket. And we'll start breaking them loose. Okay, we might just try to put this on the Milwaukee and see if that's a man enough unit. With one little flick of the wrist, it breaks them loose. That's good. Oh man, this one's nice. There's no like little clips or anything hanging on any bolts, just 10 free bolts ready to go. There we go. Now that they're all cracked loose, we'll come in from the bottom. Rip, rip. Then I'll go grab a little bit of a pry bar, get this peeled off, and she'll start draining.
Yeah, buddy. Oh.
Oh, a little bit harder than I thought. You want to grab me a hammer, bud? Could you grab me a hammer?
You got stringy gasket shit all over there.
Yeah. That's pretty normal working with that stuff.
It's like all over my arm hair.
Yep. You'll find it next week also.
Here you go.
Thank you. Alright, let's just... Wow. I might have to... find something actually a little bit more appropriate for this job. Be right back. I have come back with a more suitable prying device. Oh, look at that stuff. Yes. Alright, now that that's mostly draining, we'll take out the upper last few bolts, and this should come off. And oh, I wish you guys could smell this stuff. Oh my. This may be 1967 diff fluid. Holy. Just peel that guy off. Very nice. Very, very nice actually. Yeah. The spider gear's looking to be good shape. Ring and pinion is giant, so you know we got real low gear ratio. This is perfect. Now all we gotta do is scrape off the gasket, because that's getting replaced with the room temperature vulcanization substance, because I didn't buy a gasket for my rear diff. I don't think anybody really does. I might be wrong, you know. Look at that, just grody stuff. Should find a can of brake cleaner probably, or some parts cleaner.
Where'd the mouse come from?
What'd you say?
There's a dead mouse.
Huh. One of the neighborhood friendly cats dropped it off.
Sure you didn't shoot up the tailpipe?
That is actually a possibility. But no, because I've dumped the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Yes. This is kind of a... There we go.
It's getting warm out now.
Yeah. I feel it on my legs. Not really. I'm 100% in the shade. What am I talking about?
feel it on my legs. Just because I'm wearing pants. It's warm now. 82 degrees. We're supposed to get some rain this afternoon. Right before the sun goes down.
There we go. That's getting cleaned up. All right, now that she's, let's just see what we're working with here quick. Well, grab a rag and rag a lot of this out, but at least now I can see where the gasket is that I need to scrape. Can you take the wire wheel to the gasket on that? Or you could also grab my other scraper and scrape it off before taking the wire wheel if you want, but the wire wheel probably don't give a fuck. Kind of like a honey badger. You know what, I just remembered I have something that'll take care of this real fast. We have a very small air compressor, so we're gonna have to do this in burst. But we're almost there actually, so. And now I'll go grab a rag and finish pulling out the rest of that oil and brake clean, and then we'll get the cover back on. Oh, and I also did manage to get grease in all of my greasers, and they took it. Every single one of them took it. So, big win. Very big win there. Well, but let's get the tires back on this thing and get that diff filled, and we'll go take her for a cruise today. Okay, so the next step of resealing this rear diff will be a copious amount of RTV. You know, get it nice and thick. Nice and thick. Just a real good bead. Alright, it's kind of hard going uphill. Let's go bring her back around and we'll just meet up downhill. All right, and then just a little bit around each bolt hole, just for satisfaction. All right, something just like that, and then we take this and we go underneath the car and we put it on, which, let me see here. Yeah, let's get underneath the car and put this on. Yeah. And just like that, we set it on. Grab a couple bolts to put it in place. There we go. Can take the hands off of it. Grab the electric ratchet and we'll put this guy together. Nice, dropped one bolt in the bucket of oil. Wouldn't be a job if we didn't. And go fishing. Found it. Gross. Okay. They're all started now. We'll just go by and make sure they're all tight. And we are done with our diff cover, and then all we gotta do is add fluid. Almost there. Boom shakalaka. And that's how the diff cover goes on. Next thing we'll do is go to this fill plug right there. Right, it's dark. I don't know. But I'm gonna grab some 80/90 and we fill it up until it drains out. Be right back. We should be good to go.
No, you don't know.
There, see how she's running out? We'll let that drain down and run out till she's done, and she is full. Yes. And just tighten up the fill plug, which is just a 3/8 ratchet drive. And that is the rear diff service done. Just like that. All right, the old Bonneville's back on all four paws. We just gotta torque these wheels down, and then I think we're gonna go for a test drive, see how everything works out. I mean, what other decisions do we have? We still have the gas gauge to fix, which will be tomorrow's project, and U-joints. The only two things left on my list that I really want to get done, and I'm not even so for sure that the gas gauge I will be able to fix, because no one sells a 67 Pontiac Bonneville fuel sending unit. So, you know, I bought something that I think might work. Probably won't work. Maybe I can take the rheostat off of it though and put it onto my sending unit and have a gas gauge. I don't know. We'll play with that tomorrow though. But for today, let's finish torquing these wheels and let's get out on the open road. See if this AC works and whatnot. Welcome to day 3 of working on the Bonneville again. What we have to do today will be drop the fuel tank out of it, since last night on my drive I ran out of gas but rolled up into a gas station at the same time. It was pretty, you know, one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. Won't happen again, so we'll make sure my shoes are tied tight from now on. But we're gonna drop this gas tank out. It's pretty simple. It's a giant unit. It doesn't have much gas in it. Since I knew I was gonna be doing this today, when I was at the gas station I only put like 3 gallons in to get me home from where I was. So I don't know, maybe 2.5, 3 gallons are in the tank right now. But I'm not sure if my new sending unit is the correct one, because like I was saying yesterday, they don't make one for this car, but something GM has to work. So let's get that figured out. And then, like I said, we still got U-joints to do, and then I gotta weld my transmission cross member. I only ran into some AC problems last night. Like it was freezing up on me, which after some research tells me that the BOA, I think, POA, I don't know, one of those stupid valves ends up not being calibrated for the 134 pretty much so, or it could be sticking and it causes this. So I bought an elimination kit for that. I gotta wait for that to come, and hopefully I get that before the trip and I can get that tossed on there, because it was nice having AC in this thing yesterday. It was awesome. But enough chitter chatter. Let's get to dropping the old fuel tank out of this. I'm gonna crawl under there and see what we need, and I'll bring you guys with. Okay, so under the car here, we got this ground wire we gotta take off, 2 fuel hoses, and then take our signal wire off the sending unit once it drops down. And then we got those 2 guys there, which they look pretty promising actually. I'm having good confidence about this. And then with how open space this is, this ain't gonna be a problem to drop this tank. It's gonna be nice and easy. Get her done. Let me get this, see if I can get this vent tube off here. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, yes. Already messed up the knuckles for the day. We're on to a good start. Okay, yeah. Let me get some tools and we'll drop this thing down. Probably undo the fuel lines first and then go from there. All right. First things first, hose clamp. And knock a bunch of shit in my eyes. Perfect. Can't see what we're doing now. This is... Oh, wow. It just keeps falling. Okay, let's just unhook this guy quick. Get him out of the way. Oh, Jesus. Alright, we'll probably have to get some new fuel hose. Jesus. Okay, that one's off. Let's get this guy undone. And I doubt this hose is gonna come off anywhere as nice as that one did. Which is okay, we'll go buy some new fuel line today. Oh, there, it broke loose at least. Okay, maybe, almost there. Okay, hey, look at that. Fuel lines are off. Good, good. All right. Now we move on to put in a drain pan there. Now we move on to our bolts, which look like 9/16 or halves. We'll go grab a long. We'll go get this done. Wowee. There's a lot of pressure in this fuel tank for some reason. I don't know what the deal is there, but okay. That one came loose. I'm sure this other one will come loose, and then we'll get a jack under the tank and pull them out completely and get this thing dropped down so that hopefully it doesn't fall on me, because golly, if this thing was full, this thing would crush me. Alrighty, let's see if we can make this gas tank fall. What's going on here? Oh, is that how this is supposed to work? Oh, fuck. I don't know what's going on here. That won't come out the rest of the way. Fine then, we'll go this way. There's one strap out of the way. Let's go see what this side's gonna play ball with us too, or if we're gonna have to do the same thing. Hey, that one came off just fine. Cool. And now let's see if we can maybe lower this jack a little bit. On the back with it. See if we can get it spun around like the long ways. Yeah, something like that maybe. Alright, and then we'll just keep slowly letting it down. Huh? Where? There we go. Now I need to get to this wire way back here, which just actually clips off. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're good. Let me. The guy should really figure out what he did with his gas cap that he popped off. There it is. I just prevent a little bit of slush in here. Did I unhook the wrong wire? No, I did not. Okay. Now let's just pull this thing out here. Oh, I still gotta unhook the orange wire though. I forgot to undo that ground wire. That might just get clipped for now. And yeah, let me see if I can go get this screw quick. I completely forgot about. Oh yeah. Oh, am I stripping it out or is it coming out? right. Now with that screw out of here, we can... You want to just grab that side and we'll set it down on the ground. I can already tell you, I have the wrong sending unit. So there it is. Fuel tank is out. You know, we'll blow it off, clean off the top here, pull out the sending unit and see what's going on in there. And I can safely assume that I have the wrong sending unit here, because mine don't have lines that curve, and it's twice as small. Well, I have some ideas still. We'll see what we can do here. Let's pull this one out and see what's going on with it. All right, I got the old tank up on a table here and cleaned up around here. We're just gonna pop this off, use an ohm meter to see what's going on with the sending unit. I'm also having a problem to where I can't get the gauge to actually sweep by grounding it out, so I have a feeling I have more of a gauge problem than a sending unit problem, but there's also a good chance the sending unit's no good, so we'll find that out too. But the gauge problem is going to be a little bit more difficult to track down. Maybe it's just power to the gauge, I don't know. I have to drop some shit out from underneath the dash. I might tear into that, or else, you know, I just might make one big bad decision and just go off of vibes. Fuck it. What's 4,000 miles off of vibes? You know, put a gas can in, extra 5 gallons in the trunk, and top it off every time I feel it needs to be topped off. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the route we have to go. But let's get this sending unit out here quick and see what's going on with that. How you get these out is there's just this lock ring here. Pretty much just gotta take chisel on tab, pound, rotates out, and it'll break loose and you'll be able to pull out the sending unit. All right, now that I got the lock ring out, you want to blast it off with some air. All right, let's pull this. Oh my God, what is this unit? What is this? Okay, I see why they probably don't make fucking sending units for this thing anymore. What is this? There's got to be a float inside there or something. I don't... Give me a minute, guys. I want to see if I can test this thing. Okay. I think that's our return hose there. Maybe we should try to spray that out. I don't know. I can't really... yeah, no. Okay. Get some carbon choke clean down that guy or something. But, after farther investigation, I obviously do not have a sending unit for this. And now at least I know what to look for, I guess. Holy shit. But, even with, testing ohms, it was doing some weird things. I think this whole trip is gonna be a vibe thing, baby. Like, I don't really know what else to say about it. Like, I don't feel like tearing apart my dash today to find out that my gas gauge actually doesn't work neither. And I don't have one of those to replace it. So, I think the best utilization of my time will be going and getting a sealed up 5-gallon gas can to keep in the back. Simple as that. All right, put some new fuel line on here, you know, just preventative. Got my return line freed up. It was kind of a little clogged, maybe. I don't think we're gonna notice anything different about that. Sadly, we don't have a fuel gauge that'll work, but again, I'm perfectly fine with vibes, so next thing we're gonna do is get this thing tossed back up under the car and get it put back in. Let me get my fuel sending wire plugged in, even though it doesn't really do much. Could probably start jacking this up here a little bit. There we go. Hold up. There we go. Push the jack. Oh, the leg bolt came out of the board. That's what the issue is. Okay. Well, the old-fashioned way of just being a man with it then. What's going on back here? Okay.
You get a nut?
Yep. Okay, might start it. Let me come over and get that side. Maybe we could just go like so now. Push this farther back.
No, you're lifting the whole car.
Okay. Well then, we'll just get this jack kind of out of here. And I'll get up under here and get this one up there. Okay. And something like that. We got the straps at least started by a thread. So we'll grab the impact, run them down tight, and then all we gotta do is hook up our fuel lines back here, which ain't gonna be no big deal. So I'll grab the impact and run these down. That's one. Boom. Might be a little tight, but keeps it under pressure. Good. Plug our little vent tube back in, and then we just gotta get underneath and hook up our fuel lines. And gas tank is back in, inspected, you know, obviously not fixed, but inspected, so that's a good start. And if I ever come across a sending unit for a Bonniville on the internet, on eBay or something, I'll know what I'm looking for. So that's a good start. All right, let's hook up these fuel lines. All right, fuel lines are pretty self-explanatory, you know, small one to small one, large one to large one. Oh. Perfect. Can get that old clamp out of here. There we go. I mean, you gotta tighten the clamps up, but I'm sure this will be perfect. Let me grab the old screwdriver, get after it. A little bit, a little bit. Okay. You guys went for a little fall there. And we'll just hook everything back up. Who knows? Maybe magically everything just starts working. I highly doubt it, but maybe. And boop boop. And then we got this ground wire over here, which Speaking of this ground wire over here, I'm gonna grab the drill and clean that up a little bit. And engage safety squints. We'll get that nice grounding spot now. Not that I really think it's going to make much of a difference, but hey, we can try. Something. There. And just like that, the fuel tank is reinstalled. Perfect. Well, we did replace these fuel hoses, so we actually did do something. Got to take the wins where we can get them. Next thing we're going to move up to is welding that transmission cross member that I'll show you guys about once we get it farther back in the garage. Okay, right here's what we need to weld up. This joint right there. Obviously it's bolted in by those half rivets, but that's what needs to get joined. That's what I feel least comfortable about. I mean, and we're gonna probably just ignore the transmission mount unless I can. Is that a single bolt through the? It is. I might be able to get us a transmission mount before we leave, just because. Yeah, just because. One of those deals. That motherfucker's grimy. We're not even gonna look at that anymore. We're just gonna pretend we don't see these fuel lines over there neither, and we're just gonna burn it in. I'm gonna grab the welder, and I got a helmet today, so hopefully it doesn't look like Ray Charles welded it by the time we're done. And let's see what we can do. Okay, well, Ray Charles came back to visit again. You know, the helmet I thought I had that was working, it doesn't work, so I'm sure my eyes will be feeling the burn later, and it makes me just feel a little bit better that it's slightly welded. It's about all I can do. It's all I'm going to do. Let's kick this thing in the ass and get it out of here. That should hold just fine. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Bad Decision Garage today. We busted ass for the last 3 days. Well, 2.5 days, I'll be real. Got a lot accomplished. That POA valve thing that I was talking about, this big doohickey thing right there, that is gonna get replaced. And that'll be here. Latest shipping day will be 1 day before I leave for my trip. So it'll give me plenty of time to get that all squared away and hooked up right. And then hopefully we'll have AC. And I mean, even if we don't have AC, whatever, we're still going on the drive. But thanks for watching. I'm sure this will be a longer episode with everything that we tackled. I don't know how the editing's gonna plan out. I jumped around so much doing the work myself that it's probably gonna look very hectic. But thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, it's time of recording. Got like 36 hours before I'm on the road for Poverty Tour. Got our POA valve eliminator here. Let's see. Something like that, except for that looks completely wrong unless it goes, it might go this way. It could very well go that way. I don't know. I'm losing confidence. Uh-oh. I'm losing confidence. We'll see what the deal is here. I bet you it actually goes just like that. Okay, yep. I'm gonna get this installed. Obviously, I'm evacuating the system properly here. you know, no funny business. Just need to get the pressure out, and then, oh. Okay, yep. And then we'll get this put in place. And we'll get it back under vacuum, charge it up, probably toss a little bit of oil in it also. And then we're also gonna do an actual oil change, like just get some fresh oil up in this thing so that it's good to go for 4,000 miles. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know how much. I'll bring you guys in if something's crazy or something, but I'm just gonna try to get this done. This video is already far too long, I've realized, but it's just been the hustle of it. So let's get to it. Okay, I just got done replacing the wipers on the Bonniville. I feel like an idiot, but I don't know why we ever went away from these wipers, man. Like, they're pretty easy to replace. You just pinch this clip at the end here, which slides in and clips in. But you pinch the clip, get it unlocked, and then it just slides out. You just, of the fingers. Like, so that's super cool that we actually will have wipers that work for this trip. I was slightly worried about it. Still gonna rain next the window, but at least we have, I mean, I will be honest, these wipers are probably older than I am, but they new in box and they feel really applicable still, so I don't have any worries whatsoever about them. I'm happy about this. This is awesome. I'm happy that I was finally able to figure out how these wipers work. I was feeling like an idiot for the longest time. God. All right, guys, got the POA eliminator installed. Here it is. I just got to hook up my wires, which pretty much splices this wire here is what it does. So we'll just cut that wire and splice them in. And then I got this on, got the old vacuum pump running already. Just draw her down and vacuum. And she doesn't sound the happiest, but it'll work before, so it'll do it again. Next thing, while this is vacuuming, I think I'm gonna jack it up and just do an oil change quick. Nothing special about that. You guys don't need to see. I'm just gonna get it done. Slightly concerning on the oil change. Like, I did this maybe 1,000 miles ago, and this filter weighs a ton. Literally a ton compared to the new one. So maybe we do an oil change halfway through the tour. I don't know. We'll definitely keep an eye on that though, because like, ooh, not too maybe, you know, this is the first oil change in a long time that I did, so maybe I cleaned all the shit out and it'll be good now, but maybe, you know, on day 3 or day 4 we pull over and do an oil change or something one morning, because yeefta. Well guys, it looks like we might actually have AC for the old road trip here. I mean, I gotta tighten up that belt some. Yeah, probably should tighten that up. But everything seems to be working. I don't know, we might have a couple more oil leaks than a guy would like, but we'll just keep an eye on the old oil pressure and the old oil level the whole time. I mean, screw it. At least we got AC. That's... oh yeah, it's cold in there. That's good. Now hopefully the evaporator just doesn't freeze up, but for the fact that the clutch actually cycles now, I don't think it will. So I'm pretty happy with this. So like I said, I'm just gonna tighten up this AC belt and that's it. We're ready for poverty tour. I mean, like, load up tools, load up a gas can, and god damn it, we're ready. So thank you for watching. Tune along. I'm gonna obviously video the trip. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.